What is up, Sideways fam? Welcome back to the channel. I'm up here on the lift, off the floor, holding up this radiator right now while Caden's down there welding up the radiator bracket for the 2JZ E90 BMW. So what we're doing right now is finishing up the fab work. We're going to be doing the radiator hoses after we're done fabbing up the bracket for the radiator, and then we're going to go ahead and get the bumper cut out right here, up in here, and get the intercooler brackets made for the piping. I'll finish the intercooler piping, finish the IAT in this video. I'll finish wiring up the car. We already have all the vacuum lines and everything else already all set up in this thing, to where hopefully today by the end of the day, before we go home, and then by the end of this video, this car will be getting started. So let's finish getting right into it. Alrighty, so radiator fab is done. We're gonna make the brackets for this to put this against the inside of this right here. Looks really good. It's nice and solid. We're gonna do the intercooler brackets right now. It's gonna work out really good actually, because right here where the vent is for the bumper, it's gonna vent straight air in there. And there's still like a rubber vent in here from the 335i to kind of get everything to have like nice, good air going into it. So pretty cool. I'm gonna start getting on the intercooler piping on this side right now, and we're gonna have to notch. It's like we're gonna have to probably notch this side out to get enough room on the intercooler, or cut that part of it out or whatever. So. Gunter. Ready to go. Caden's giving a little bit of that sprinkle. And what are you doing?
Some good welds right there.
Who?
Some good welds.
Cares. Yeah. Good job, Caden.
Yeah.
Good job, baby. Alrighty, so all the valve covers are getting new gaskets. We just went ahead and put those in. We have our OEM Toyota ventilation hoses that we need to go ahead and put in as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do those. We have brand new chrome bolts we're gonna put in with the OEM Toyota grommets for the valve covers that we have to put in for each individual one, so that you don't break your valve covers, because if you don't use those grommets, you over torque the valve covers and snap them. So we're gonna finish getting these bolted on permanently, so we can actually fire this thing up. And then intercooler piping is done. I don't know if I showed that earlier, but all finished up. IAT's welded in, clears everything all the way around. We went ahead and got the headlights in, just kind of mocked up so we could see everything. Got the intercooler piping on this side super tight to the chassis, so it can all fit. But we're looking good. And so pretty much right now, like I said, is we're gonna probably test fit the bumper just so it looks a little bit more together before the customer comes. I need to finish wiring up my fans. I don't know what the customer did with my connector. It's somewhere down there at the bottom down there. There's a quick disconnect I supply with my fan connectors that was gone. So maybe I'm gonna have to just put some T-taps on it or something, or some quick disconnect connectors, because that's totally like destroyed on the harness too. Fixed the starter wire already. I'm gonna have to go in the car right now. So once we get on the floor, I can finish the wiring. We gotta get a battery in the trunk, because the one he has in there is totally dead and shot. And I think besides that, we should be pretty much done. We still need to do the fab for the top of the radiator right here to push this on. I already went and got him a brand new serpentine belt. That is somewhere, because it's missing the belt. He never gave it back to us. Have to zip tie this out of the way, obviously. But there's pretty decent room. You can get your hand in between everything. That's pretty much how it is in all BMWs too, that are running all that other stuff. So I'm getting going on the wiring right here. You can kind of see the clusterfuck of mess. He didn't have this whole system hooked up in the car, so for some reason it wasn't working in the vehicle. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going through everything and trying to make everything kind of work right now. So let me kind of show you what we're getting on the dash and how we're going to be doing all this. So 7-inch display, CAN system. We have a few lights on the dash, you know, everything off and on. So right now everything's gonna power down. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the key so everything will turn off on the dash. So you'll have to use your FOP, because it's the only way you're gonna get power to the vehicle. I'm assuming that light will go off. I mean, I don't really know why it would stay on, because I don't have anything powered up anyways. But anyways, got our mess of wiring over here that's been through and seen better days, but it's all together. And I have the BTI hooked up to my CAN hookup over here on the ECU, right here for AEM net. Transmission actually sits not too bad. I think the shifter's actually going to fit pretty good and looks pretty good. So MK3 trans for the win, I guess. You know, I mean, I would say probably still go with like a SOAR trans to get it farther back so you can run a straight shifter, but that's pretty awesome. So pretty much I've already found a switch ignition power. Let me get a light in here so you guys can see better actually. So what I've done is, this is the chassis connector that'll come off to like your, I guess your ECU wiring harness. I found a switch 12 volt to the ignition that was here that will power up my 12 volt switch wire to the harness, and then everything's already been integrated for the, you know, from before, for the fans. You got your fuel pump relay, you got a whole bunch of things in here that are kind of going on that is part of my older system. So this harness is built like about, I don't know, 2 years ago or something like that. And it's kind of, we've updated our system ever since then and kind of changed some stuff. I need to put the sheathing back on and make it look pretty and everything and do all that stuff too still. But anyways, what we're gonna do is, since it's just gonna have some weird system for the starter, we're not gonna be able to probably get it working with the start button, because I know I've had problem with 350Zs, sorry, 370Zs and G37s and stuff like that, trying to get this push button to work. Just to get the vehicle to power up, it will work. But to get started, we're gonna have to put a push button. Like I know this is a push button, but like another kind of push button, because it's a different system for this anyways. But pretty much, since I have this going already, I'm going to go ahead and insert my key. Let me go ahead and get the light off. Insert key. We have ECU. BTI turns on for a second, only because the ignition went on for a second. We're gonna go ahead and go ignition forward now. Now we have everything here. BTI is reading. We have voltage to our battery. We have some of the other sensors that are just reading, I guess, regular, like just like whatever the outside temperature is or whatever, or the lowest setting for their stuff. We're reading E6, which, I mean, I guess maybe there was a little bit of fuel that went through, but I'm not seeing any fuel pressure, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. I hear the pump in the rear going. Everything's freaking out because there's no stock computer, which is why this is kind of gonna be lame. I don't know if they can code out all this stuff, or once again, you need to leave your factory computer in the car so you don't have all this mess of stuff. But gas gauge is reading empty. Let's go ahead and go get some gas for the customer, and hope that that's gonna get the fuel pump working. We can get some fuel pressure going, and then I can manually start the car over here for now to just get it to start. So I just got 5 gallons of E85. We're gonna go ahead and pour in right now and see if we get fuel on the dash. So it's a new day. We're having electrical problems today. Last night we were trying to get the car started and at least cranking and everything, and we keep getting like a weird voltage jump. So we upsized all the cables, put more grounds on the engine, upsized the size of the wiring now, and we're still not getting a good crank. So we've only cranked the car for a few minutes and the starter's on fire. So Caden's pulling the starter out right now. This is one of the JDM starters. That's why it looks like that, which is actually smaller. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get that out. I have a IS300 starter right here that we're gonna be going ahead and putting in. That's just a used one that we have here lying around. And hopefully we can get a good crank out of it so this thing should start up, because there's no reason with it coming out of another car why it shouldn't be starting. So right now we're gonna try to rotate the crank, because I think that, like I had said earlier in the other video, this guy's rings are literally too big for the cylinder, and it's just not rotating. It slowly has been cranking slower and slower and slower as we're cranking it. And it just is super, super, super hard to rotate. So I don't know what's going on. We pulled the plugs. Plugs are all dry. And you can see Caden struggling.
Nah, she's locked up, baby.
Yeah, so we're going to have to look in the cylinder. I guess we can look back here in the cylinder with the light, just to make sure it's not hydro locked, but the plugs are out and everything. So we've burned out 2 starters now, like 3 starters now, trying to fucking see what's going on, and it's getting smoking hot. So wasn't a starter problem. I can't even really test to even see if spark is good, because we can't even get it to crank. So I don't know. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is gonna end up being the end of the video, because customers are gonna take the engine or the whole car back home, pull it all apart, and put an engine in it that's supposed to actually be in this thing, and wow, what a mess.
We're gonna open up a big can of beans, some Jimmy Dean right here. Some Bush's baked beans.
Let's see, sweetie, go. Oh, you got to go a little bit?
A little bit.
This doesn't feel good. It's not supposed to be.
Well, there you have it, guys. Engine is donezo. 335i is gonna have to wait. I guess we're either gonna. I gotta have a meeting with the customer today, so we'll see what's gonna happen. But pretty much from what I have heard and what I have gotten the idea of how it's gonna all go down, customers either taking the car home, replacing the engine himself, putting it back together, and bringing it back to have us tune it, or he's gonna pay us to put a new engine in the car that actually ran, get the car running, finish the car so the car can drive home. So I don't know. We'll just see how it all goes, but the engine's gonna probably have to be replaced or rebuilt or something. So gonna have to go on the back burner, guys. We got way too many other projects going on right now that we gotta get done. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, kind of a bummer video. It did not run, so, but we were close. So I guess till next time, guys, we'll see what's gonna happen. Peace.